Hey everyone, this is Bird the Nerd with another comic book market report. I would say buy these books right now. The market is definitely at a buyer's, I would say, standpoint. If you want to compare prices to earlier last year or a year ago, prior to con season, a lot of these books I've been keeping my eye out for quite some time. There is one exception, obviously, with some newer books here, but yeah, and I do apologize. The past week has been pretty busy, so this is a little bit late. And we didn't have a show on Sunday. We'll see if we'll have one this coming Sunday. Some changes are going to come to the channel going forward, just with everything going on. So I do appreciate everyone's support. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, tell all your friends about the report. Gordy's going to join us today, evidently. He really is excited about this report. So I'll shut up and let's get into it. All right. So I only have about 8 books today. I didn't want to go into like too many books as far as the market's concerned. NYCC just ended, so I wanted to wait a day or so for that market for the con to end to kind of have the dust settle and all that. But got a pretty exciting list for you guys. I recommend buying all these books right now. I've never said that before, but I just think they're collectible prices, if you say. Special edition, Marvel Special Edition number 15. This is Master of Kung Fu. Number 15. Just said that. First, Shang-Chi. Now, I don't really like talking about the option news when it comes to these MCU greenlit books, but this is a Bronze Age copper key, I guess, whatever, depending on what you feel is like the right time frame. But $2.25 for an 8.5, which I feel is an investable price point. $3.23 for a 9.0. That's down about $200 from the last time I was looking at this book. If you want to really get into the more, I guess, higher grades, 9.2, 9.4, you could it's probably a $50 bump up to the 9.2, maybe $150 to a 9.4. I haven't seen any 9.8s just because I don't think that's investable. That's more of like, you are a huge fan, you don't care how much it's going for. And I don't know if I could trust a 9.8 of this book. It's so old as well. But look out for the newsstand edition as well. But I think an 8.5 for $2.25 is not a bad investment. I bought an 8.0 for about $150. So I think I'm up like 12% on that book. But yeah, I think it's a cool book to get into. Duke number 1, the one in actually 250 variant. This is my favorite Energon Universe cover and book, drawn by David Mack. $10.50 for a listing. I think the seller messed up on that listing. A 9.6 went for $199, signed by David Mack. I feel like $200 is a fair value for this book. I probably would want, even with a 250 ratio, meaning you have to buy 250 copies of this, there might be a ton of them out there, but I just think for pure beauty and for favoritism of this series, it's kind of got that neo-noir kind of feel to it. I think this is a good book to get. $200 is a fair value. If you get for like less than that and a 9.8, it's a steal for sure. So SpiderPunk number 1, the 1 in 50 variant, done by Oki. I'm just saying Oki because I can't pronounce his name correctly. $89.50 for 9.8. This is super tough in a 9.8, by the way, just because the paper back in those days just wasn't very good. Back in those days, that was like 2 years ago, which is so weird to say. But $70 back in September. So if you're really bargain shopping, I think that's a great buy. You're hitting 2 markets with the artist that did the cover in SpiderPunk. I feel like SpiderPunk has, out of like the more modern characters, aside from the A-listers, I would say he's an A1A comic book character. I think you're going to see you're going to see him more cosplayed, and you're going to see more people dressing up for him as Halloween too. So pretty cool book, great character, and extremely cheap. Star Wars Darth Vader number 6. This is the variant of the Grand Inquisitor. An 9.8 sold for $41 back in October 10th. $33 for a 9.8, which is basically the cost of grading. I think I'm bidding on one book that's like, I think it's like going for $10 right now. That's the most I would pay for a raw book. This is also kind of tough in 9.8. Here, Gordy, I'll give you some more screen time. But yeah, I just think it's a great book. It's a fan favorite of mine. You have the video game nerds going into this book. You have the movie nerds, the Star Wars nerds. Yeah, I know people didn't like Han Solo. Felt like that failed, but I liked the show personally. But for $33 or $40, I can't say no to this book. It's a This is a fan favorite of mine. Super Mario Brothers Special Edition. I thought this was a nice alternative to a first appearance of Super Mario or even the first Super Mario book. It's the first published works in comic books of Mario. A 9.2 sold for $100. Oddly enough, recently a 9.6 sold for 104. So the prices are kind of skewed here. This might be one to put on your watch list. It's just kind of like, I don't know, if you're in the hunt for it, like just to put on your watch list and maybe get a good deal out of it. But I'm not mad at this. I'd rather have this book personally than like the first Super Mario. I know it has a little bit of nostalgia because the cover looks very much like the cover of the video game too. But for Mario collector fans or Mario collectors and fans of Mario, I think this is a cool book to have. It has a little bit of like kind of hidden value into it, being at the first published works. It's probably really tough and all those big rates too. So yeah, go bargain bin shopping, definitely. Next up, Absolute Batman. This is one of the newer books that I put on the list here. It's a great story. I wouldn't even say it was a great story. It's a good story. It's something different. I think it's a very original idea. It just came out though, and there's a lot of pub behind it. You could argue that's under ordered or what have you, but like, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it slabbing this book. I guess you kind of have to ask yourself nowadays, like, why do you slab a book, especially like a brand new one that comes out? Do you like it? Do you slab it because you want to frame it? You actually do appreciate the artist or the character, and that's you're just going to have it for forever. Are you really going to flip it? It's really hard to do that on specific books that, especially number ones. That's just kind of my opinion right now. But I found a few copies in store. This is going for $20 near mint. The Ashcan's the one to get, obviously, if you're a collector. But Bud series, we'll see what it does. It's got really rich writing. So. And last but not least, this is not Spider-Gwen Ghost. This is Princess Sally. She's a Sonic character. This is her limited series. I gotta imagine there's not a lot of books out here. I didn't have enough time to like look up the census of books printed, but Sonic books are like a hot thing always. I think they're gonna have a long-term value. Kids love Sonic. And the movies, forget the movies. It's just collectors kind of like deal. Especially the Archie branded comics as well. $224.72 for a 9.8. Newsstand copy. I just really liked this book, and I thought it was pretty cool to share. So that is the list for today. If you guys could all do me a favor, click that like button, subscribe, tell all your friends about it. Con season is coming up. I think there's a couple more cons coming through. You also have the holidays coming up. So if you are looking to get, to get some cash out of your books, I would sell them, probably right now. And if you're looking to buy, you may want to wait another month. Maybe put these books on your watch list and just watch out for them. But I appreciate everyone's support. If you guys could click that like button, subscribe to all your friends. I really appreciate it. You'll have a good day. Take care.